Galactical Council of Elders and the Guardians and the Watchers of the Universe. I am here because I have been sent to bring a message to the Star Children in these times concerning our future, concerning the things, the problems that plague. If you would look at the flyer that I have, it states on there that where there is no spiritual law, there is no order. Where order and accountability are compromised, all will be enslaved by the lawless. It also states there are a lot of ways that we as a people can get out of balance. You can get out of balance by too much talking and thinking and not enough acting. This is some of the things that we're going to be addressing here, that we are out of balance as a people and some of the reasons why we're out of balance. First of all, I want to deal with the violation of law, to give you a description of what law is and what law isn't. Many people may think that they're under the impression that we've been under law down here, but you have to realize that if disorder and chaos is upon the planet, that can only be present because there is no law being applied. So I'm going to have to describe what law is and what it's not, according to how the universe dictates what is law. Let me first, the forgotten truths and the laws of life, or the laws that we have not been practicing and following. There are many different types of laws that we have not been following. Some applying to the male and to the female, some applying to our relationship to nature, some applying to the various things that we have to be consistent in our daily living. The universe says that the wages of violating law is death. That's something similar to what the Bible states, the wages of sin is death, but basically it is the wages of violating law is death. Sin is a violation of law. So when you violate law, that's the reason why you have to face death. Death is basically it's a balancing, it's a balancing principle that is enforced to assist the universe that if you're not good stewards of your body is your temple, and if you're not good stewards of your body, then death plays the role of either eliminating you off the planet because you have not been good stewards of your body, which is your temple that you have been given. So that's why death is here, because obviously we have not been good stewards of the body that we have been given. The role of death and who it is, the symbolic manifestation of life and death. Dealing with up here, you have the woman, which is the wound manifestation, and you have man, which is short for manifestation. Our purpose upon the planet, we were supposed to manifest the higher creative energy or consciousness of the Supreme All. That is why we were put here. Both genders have a particular gender assignment that each one is supposed to fulfill, the male and the female. And those roles were not to be interchanged. None is superior than the other, but both are supposed to balance each other out equally. This has not been done in the society that we're in. So the Galactical Guardians, who keep watch over everything that's going over in the universe, they have watched us down here, and they have decided that we have all abdicated our right to continue to exist. So what I'm here to do is to present to you the various violations that the universe says that we have committed these offenses, and that the penalty that we must pay for these offenses is that we no longer allowed to continue to exist, okay, unless we make some changes. So this is what the new cycle is about. This present cycle has to end because it's a cycle of death and destruction. And for a new resurrection to come about, there has to be a death of the old in order that the new can come back up. So that is what you see taking place right now with all the chaos, the wars, the rumors of wars taking place upon the press. The universe has decided that it will no longer support this present system because there's too much violence. There's the disrespect and abuse of the wombed manifestation. There's the disrespect of the children. There's no love of brother to brother. There's no unification. So when the planet gets to this degree, those who are responsible for creating this planet, they have to make a decision and say, okay, the creation that we have created, are they acting in a way where they are deserving to continue to live? Because we did not create them in this manner. And if you was to answer that question, you would see that, okay, no, we're not. Because we were not created to behave the way we are down here. So us not keeping good stewards of the planet as far as the environment, the polluting of the air, the water, the food being poisonous, and just so many things that we have just not been very good stewards of is causing the very things that you see and happen on the planet to happen. And it's all dealing with your consciousness, because the consciousness is the primordial seed of creation. You have to know that your real you is not necessarily your flesh. That's just basically your temple that you're using. The real you is the consciousness. When your consciousness is out of alignment or out of balance, okay, that has a global effect, because you get other things out of alignment and balance, and that applies to both the male and the female, because the two were created to operate as one. And once we no longer operate as one, you have to realize that one imbalance creates another imbalance, which creates another imbalance, and that imbalance can continue on indefinitely. So right now, the whole earth is in a state of imbalance. Now it is up to us, because we were the original model. So everything that's happening on the planet, what I'm trying to show you is where you and your consciousness are directly related to it, okay? So this is where we're at, the unconsciousness, that we either need to turn to the one consciousness if we are to continue to survive. Because right now, we are dying. So it's unfortunate that there's no females in here, because a lot of my message is dealing with the wombed manifestation, because as so much of what is going on, she is the problem, she is also the solution. So she been given the power or the right to be teacher of both male and female, because as you see up here, wombed manifestation, she is man. She is just the man with the womb. It was corrupted into woman, but it's really pronounced woman, woman, womb manifestation. So if I just called you manifestation every day, they shorten that, and so you're now known as man. You know, what's up, man? How you doing? Okay. But all man is short for manifestation. You are manifestation of wombed manifestation. Okay. So her unconsciousness will have an effect on you. I deal with the imprint that the female has upon the child in the womb. Say, for instance, your mother, if she had no knowledge of herself, okay, the first law is to know oneself. Another law is to know one's enemy, okay? If you have a female who has not knowledge of herself, okay, this is going to affect whatever she carries in her womb, because she's been given the power to create in her own likeness after her own kind. And then she has 9 months to imprint various data upon the primordial being of that child in her womb. So when you come out, you are going to actualize what your mother imprinted upon you. Now, if she knew herself and she had the goddess consciousness, okay, she's going to bring forth a god. You know, that's she's dealing with issue of not having grown up and been nurtured. Okay, you have to realize that all of this is imprinted upon the child in the womb. When you come out, okay, you've already been set at a disadvantage. And normally, whatever the consciousness of the mother is, she's going to raise that child up in that environment. If she's Jehovah's Witness, okay, she's going to make sure that that child is raised up getting that type of programming. If she's Muslim, she's going to raise that child up getting that type of programming. So whatever programming your mother has or whoever is your caregiver, then that's usually the type of programming you yourself will also get. So you have to realize that that's a lot of power for one individual to have. So that when the Creator gave her that power, she was supposed to be a very good steward of that. Of course, because of the things that have transpired, the adversary recognized that, and since the war is against the black woman and what comes out of her womb, they knew that in order to destroy a race of people, they had to attack the head. The head is the wombed man. They knew that if they could reprogram her consciousness concerning who she was, and how she felt about herself and her environment and that which came out of her body, that they could basically enslave a whole entire race of people. So that was one of the reasons why they did the experiment called the project. We at one time, we used to give birth to great beings like Harriet Tubman, Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, has special skills and talents that no other female on the planet has. And they have studied her extensively, from head to toe, dead and alive. There's nothing that they don't know about us. So they know that she's different. And they have created things to attack her, whether it's from a atomic biogenetic level, whether it's from an emotional or spiritual level, everything that you deal with, they have come up with something to try to enslave you physically and mentally. And they did it first with her by changing her consciousness about herself, you know. And so religion is a very powerful tool, that they use a lot of religion to control the minds of people. So we have to analyze basically where the problems that plague us, where they began. You know what I'm saying? We have to know, okay, we're looking at where we're at today. How did we get here? You know, how did we get to the point of where we're at today? What went wrong? Was it my fault? Was it your fault? Whose fault was it? And if you ask yourself that question, you have to realize that we all are to blame. That some mistakes that our ancestors made, we're still making those same mistakes today. So you have to realize that everything on the planet has an adversary, because the planet deals in polarities. There's good, there has to be bad, there's life, there's death, there's night, there's day. These are polarities. They're just the different polarities that we all are supposed to know. If I was to ask you, well, what is supreme love? You couldn't possibly describe to me what supreme love is unless you know the opposite of it, which is supreme hate. So you see, you need to know both of those polarities, because you really can't know one without the other. If you lived on the planet and it was just men, and somebody said, hey, you seen a woman? Well, you couldn't know what a woman was if you never saw one, so it's necessary to see the opposite of man, which is womb manifestation, okay? So I'm just trying to make the point that how we need both of those different polarities to really know how we're to operate and what it is, the different things down here in our environment that we're supposed to be aware of. The main teacher, a child learns outside of itself. You have to realize that all learning initially starts externally, meaning that whoever's given the responsibility to teach you, they have a lot of power. Now they can either take that power and do good things with it, or they can take that power and do bad things with it. They can either be a deterrent to you, or they can be helpful to you. It's just depending. So a lot of times we look at how we've turned out and we think that we messed ourselves up. Okay, no, you didn't mess yourself up. We didn't mess ourselves up, because we have to look back to where we come from, and they had a powerful role in us turning out to be what we are. Whether that's good or bad, agreeable or disagreeable, that's not for me to decide. You can decide that within inside yourself. Okay? But it's just